evening, Belize. It's Friday night. A clear message from the public. News 5's Facebook poll shows overwhelming opposition to higher bus fares. $43 from PG to Belize City. Too much, say riders. The Bus Association fires back, blaming government as tempers flare over the hikes. In Maya King, a man leaves home to collect his pay. He never makes it back. Found dead along the roadside. $13 million in drugs destroyed in a massive police operation. And progress at the Belcan Bridge comes with a cost. Vendors forced to move from roadside. These stories and more next. News 5 starts now.
The Public Utilities Commission donated air conditioning units and funded the ceiling and insulation of the windows in the computer lab at Burrell Boom Methodist School.
Well, PUC gave us some AC units, and we are very happy knowing that we can sit inside a computer lab as both teachers and students, knowing that because of the extra heat at times, because of the enclosed building, that we tend to sweat.
It makes in here feel more comfortable, more cozy, you know. It helps us feel more focused on what we need to do.
And it's the best thing for us. It's more cooling and relaxing in this environment to learn.
We at the Public Utilities Commission believe that when we invest in education, we invest in Belize's future. And we are proud to support a space that helps students learn, grow, and reach their full potential.
And welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, April 24th. I am Sabrina Daly. For thousands of bus commuters, Monday's ride to work or school is about to cost more, and many aren't happy about it. New bus fare increases approved by the Ministry of Transport are set to take effect, allowing operators to charge more per mile. While the hikes may seem small on paper, they add up quickly for long-distance travelers who depend on public transportation every day. The announcement has sparked sharp criticism, with social media buzzing and commuters on the ground raising the same concerns. Higher fares, aging buses, and little relief for cash-strapped riders. News 5's Paul Lopez examines the new rates, the growing backlash, and how the government is responding.
Commuters are bracing for higher bus fares as new rates approved by the Ministry of Transport take effect on Monday. Under a cabinet-approved decision, the Belize Bus Association can now charge 18 cents per mile on regular runs and 20 cents per mile on express routes. The increase may look small, but for long-distance travelers, the cost adds up fast. The most significant increase was approved for the southern route. Commuters traveling from Punta Gorda to Belize City, a 160-mile run, will now pay $39 maximum one way on a regular bus. That equates to $78 round trip. That same run on an express bus is now $43.50 maximum, or $87 round trip. Under the new rate, a bus ride from Corozal to Belize City, an 89-mile distance, will now cost commuters $15.25 one way on a regular bus and $30.50 round trip. That same trip from Corozal to Belize City on an express bus will cost $18.50 one way and $37 round trip. And the list goes on. A quick non-scientific News 5 Facebook poll drew more than 2,000 responses, with 96% opposing the new fares, and the online backlash followed almost immediately. One user says, "Imagine, we commute because we cannot afford a vehicle and gas. Now, we cannot even afford to take the bus. These individuals wrote, all buses should be inspected and should reach certain standards. And together we have the power to change all these nonsense. And when we visited the Belize City bus terminal to hear concerns from commuters on the ground, the sentiments were pretty much the same. Jenny, where did you travel to today?
To 8 miles.
To 8 miles. And how prepared are you to pay the new prices come Monday?
Well, I'm prepared because it's only 50 cents more than the 250 that I'm already paying.
How reasonable you think are these increases? I see you had the list front.
Yes, I have the list front of me, and I think it's reasonable. To me, I don't know to others people, but to me, I think it's reasonable.
I'm traveling from Hattieville today, and I usually travel to Belcan for work.
How prepared are you to pay the increased bus prices on Monday?
Not fully prepared, but I'll have to be, whether I like it or not. And with the rates, we don't mind paying it. I know a lot of us don't mind paying it if we'll be riding the bus that are properly fixed.
Those sentiments were also captured in a now viral social media video shared by one user.
I'm well prepared because I retired and I do good, all right. But one thing I want is to upgrade the bus name, make us sit down and relax good. Right? Some of the buses say, it's a terrible ride. When you reach this destination, you're in alone pain.
And when we asked Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabane about the mounting criticism, he said it is justified.
I think they're all legitimate concerns. We knew that that this would be a possibility. Obviously, nobody wants to pay more for any of their needs, including for transportation. But we as a government, cabinet had to make a decision because the members of the BBA, particularly those from the north, had threatened to strike, and that would have been a worse outcome.
The National Bus Company has announced that it will not increase its bus fares at this time. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Amid all the talk of rising bus fares, there's some welcome news tonight for thousands of commuters, especially in the South. The National Bus Company says its fares will stay put for now. NBC carries about 65% of highway riders nationwide, including nearly all commuters in the Southern Corridor, where the highest fare increases were recently approved. That means passengers traveling from Punta Gorda to Belize City won't be paying more, at least not yet, if they're riding with NBC. Still, Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabane cautions that the company could revisit its rates if fuel prices continue to climb.
You would be seeing a NBC press release this afternoon, in which NBC has announced that it would not be raising its rates at this time, but that they reserve the right to do that in the event that the fuel prices keep going up. But I think that's the responsibility of the NBC to try its best to serve commuters in the best way possible, and that's what the press release states.
In what areas or parts of the country will NBC's position offer relief or keep status quo for commuters?
The National Bus Company serves about 65% of all commuters each day. That ranges from between 8,000 to about 12,000 passengers a day, depending on the time of the week. The southern routes, which include from Punta Gorda through Independence, Dangriga, Belmopan to Belize City, and soon quite a bit of that flow will be going through the coastal road to reduce the time people to get to their destinations. The National Bus Company serves 95% of that market. On the Western Corridor, as we call it, from Belize City to Belmopan, San Ignacio, Benque, National Bus Company serves approximately 85% of the market. It is in the north, from Belize City to Orange Walk, Corozal up to the border, where NBC only serves 20% of the market. So the majority of members of the BBA, the 14 of them that are members of the BBA that are not a part of the National Bus Company, mostly serve in the north, the Northern Corridor.
We also asked Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabanet whether commuters could expect fare reductions if global oil prices fall. His answer? That's not typically how economies typically work. Still, it raises another key question. If riders are being asked to pay more, should they also expect better buses and improved commuting experience?
100% agree, absolutely. In this case, the price increases are to mitigate the higher cost of fuel. So for those who are doing it for that necessity, it will be difficult to find additional funds to improve their equipment beyond where they are. However, NBC's existence and future lies on a transition to electric buses that are all brand new.
How likely is it that if and when fuel prices stabilize, this increase will go back to normal prices?
Well, I'm sure that NBC will do its best to make that happen. However, there's a thing in economics called sticky prices. And that means that when prices go up, it's much easier to go up than to come down. So usually it's only technology, improved technology, that brings down the cost of any product or service. In the case of National Bus Company, that's the same thing. It's technology that will be able to mitigate increasing prices. The cost of operating an electric bus is only about 25% that of a diesel bus in terms of the cost of energy.
The Belize Bus Association is rebutting claims surrounding the recent bus fare increases, placing blame squarely on the National Bus Company and the government agencies that oversee it. In a statement released just before news time, the BBA describes NBC as operating under direct ministry control, calling that relationship a conflict of interest in how fare decisions and public messaging are being framed. The association argues that NBC has long charged the highest fares in the industry, while private operators under the BBA operated at significantly lower rates for years, absorbing rising fuel and maintenance costs to protect commuters. The BBA says the latest adjustment was not arbitrary, but a forced alignment with NBC's existing price structure following rejected requests for fuel tax relief and subsidies. The association further contends that government decision makers are now attempting to distance themselves from the fallout by using NBC as a public shield, while commuters shoulder the full financial burden. The BBA maintains that it remains the primary provider of national bus service and insists the public deserves transparency over who truly bears responsibility for the fare hike. Relief may be on the horizon for southern commuters looking for a faster, less crowded way to get to Belize City. The National Bus Company is considering a new route along the Coastal Plain Highway. A road transport minister Dr. Louis Zabanet says is largely underused. If approved, the added run could offer an alternative for travelers heading north or south. So how soon could commuters see buses rolling on this route? We put that question to the minister.
I suspect by the middle of May, we want to give the commuters enough time to see what changes would look like, moving people through the coastal plains. A certain percentage of the total people go to Belize City but have to go through Belcan. So it's those people that we want to provide an hour less in journey going through the coastal road. And it's been there. It's a grant and government investment in that road. It's grossly underutilized, and this is one way we can start to put it to use for the benefit of our commuters. So we want to give commuters enough time to have an input into this. When it is implemented, it will still have flexibility so that if things aren't working, it can be tweaked up. But we feel very strongly that that will really add tremendous value to the commuters of the South.
The Coastal Plain Highway upgrade cost $158 million. And Minister Zabanis says it's time Belizeans start getting more out of that investment. After the break, more Belizeans are vanishing and families want answers.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For we are laborers together with God." The secret to living in a successful society is learning to link your life up with others. Once a famous organist was to give several concerts using an old-fashioned pump organ. The bellows of the organ had to be pumped by hand, so the organist hired a young boy to stand behind the organ and pump while he played. After the first concert, the boy said to the organist, "We played good tonight." "What do you mean, we? I was the one who played, not you," replied the organist. When the organist sat down to begin the next concert, no sound came out of the organ. It suddenly dawned on him that there was no air in the bellows. The organist whispered to the boy behind the organ, "Pump." The boy responded in a whisper, "Say we." When you find a great church, a great school, a great country, a great athletic team, a great band, you will discover that it is not just because of its leader, but because of the people behind the leader who have learned the secret of cooperation. Link your life to others, and most importantly to Jesus Christ, who wants your life to have purpose. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Belize, your voice is shaping our future. The Ministry of E-Governance is hosting National ID Project public consultations, and we're coming to you. Orange Walk, you're up first. Thursday, April 23rd at Central Park, 6 p.m. Come, learn, share, and help build a better ID system for all Belize. Then Belize City, it's your turn. Join us Friday, April 24th at the Biltmore Plaza at 5:30 p.m. Show up, speak up, because your voice matters in creating a smarter, more connected Belize.
Tonight, a small southern community is grappling with a brutal killing that has left a family searching for answers and justice. 45-year-old Luis Alberto Martinez was found dead early this morning along the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway, bearing signs of a violent attack. Martinez left home the evening before to collect money owed to him, but never returned. News 5's Shane Williams traveled to Santa Cruz Village, where loved ones are mourning the loss of a man they say was the heartbeat of their home.
This quiet stretch of highway near Maya King in South Sand Creek has become the center of a tragedy that has shaken an entire community. Just after sunrise today, police made a grim discovery along the TV Ramos Highway, the lifeless body of 45-year-old Luis Alberto Martinez, who is a familiar face in Santa Cruz Village. Martinez was a skilled construction worker and handyman, known for his routine and being dependable, always the first to rise in the morning.
This morning, I get a phone call, middle of work, because normally I be up by 2 a.m. working, and normally I would have look out for see him, you know. But when I get the phone call after 6, the middle of preparation for work, and the officer said, "Miss Richie, I don't know how you take this news, but I think the uncle did on you. I need you to identify the body." And when I reach out there, sad feeling I'm here because identify him by the clothing. So far as we know, is that he left home yesterday 4:30 minutes to 5 to collect his pay, and from since then until this morning we heard that they find out dead.
According to his family, Martinez left home Thursday evening around 4:30, heading out to collect money owed to him, a payment he had been trying to secure for days. He never made it back.
He hunt to pay 2 days. I'll be honest with you now. 2 days he hunt to pay, and he never receive it. I guess the person may give him a hard time now, and he tell him come back, and so he gone back. And yesterday he gone back and say, he tell me, "Ma," he say, "I don't have no money for me." He say, "You could give me a $5." He say, that I went out there broke. He say, "But I don't want to go out there with empty pocket." And so my mom gave her the $5, and that was the last time she spoke to her, and she saw.
Hours later, his body was found near mile 21 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway. He had been stabbed and shot. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stacey Smith says investigators are now working to piece together Martinez's final moments.
What we have gathered so far in the course of the investigation is that Mr. Martinez departed from his residence sometime around 4:30 p.m. the day prior, believed to be en route to picking up his salary from an employer. We have since launched an investigation into his movements thereafter to see how that can assist with the ongoing investigation.
Village Chairman Vincent Scott says the killing has rattled Santa Cruz, a close-knit community where violence is rare and tragedies like this hit especially hard.
This morning I was out there helping them to secure the scene and make some phone calls to make sure that we get to the relative to identify, you know. And so yeah, that's this morning we just met the body on the road, and we saw some shells on the ground. Santa Cruz Village is a working village, right? And so everybody goes to work in the morning, and then in the evening they come back in. So an incident like this now, it makes us wonder, because it's not a gang area or anything like that. And so the person who it happened to also is not a person who is in any gang or anything. It's just a regular person who goes around and work. And so it makes us wonder, you know, what happened, and we really need to find out after the police do the investigation what they find.
Tonight, a family mourns the loss of a man they describe as hardworking, reliable, and deeply loved.
I have faith within the officers that are dealing with the case right now. I have faith within them. I leave it. All we want to do is just make it run smoothly. There is nothing we could do right now.
Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Following 2 recent teen killings near the port of Belize, police are now investigating the discovery of another body in the same area, though under different circumstances. The decomposed body of an unidentified man was found along the shoreline earlier today. But unlike those earlier cases, police say there are no visible signs of injury, and at this stage, foul play is not suspected. Investigators are now focusing on identifying the victim, with hopes that clothing found on the body could provide crucial clues. ASP Stacey Smith explains.
Police have commenced a death investigation after the decomposed body of a male person was found along the shoreline behind the Port of Belize Limited in Belize City. The investigation commenced at around 12:44 p.m. today, when officers were alerted of this discovery by a fisherman who was in the area. We have not been able to ascertain the identity of the individual. However, we are hoping that the clothing that is on the body would aid in this process. I was advised that no visible injury was observed. There is nothing to suggest that it's foul play at this time. However, the autopsy will provide further clarity as to that. Whilst it is behind the Port of Belize Limited, that particular area, one is in the shoreline and the other was on land, if to my knowledge. Certainly, any life loss is of interest to the police department, and that is why we have been conducting numerous operations and have been boosting those areas of concern.
The body was dressed in a black t-shirt, khaki pants, and black and white Nike tennis shoes. This is the third body found near the dikes behind the Port of Belize area this month. Across Belize, families are asking the same frightening question: where are our loved ones and who's next? In recent weeks, a troubling string of missing young men has gripped the nation, with these cases ending in heartbreak. The stories of Deborah Arthurs, Jameer Cambranes, Jahil Wesby, Alwyn Marin, Steve Lewis, and Lidani Martinez have captured public attention, fueling anxiety and raising tough questions about personal safety and how quickly police are able to respond. Authorities say they understand the growing concern and insist they are stepping up their efforts, even as several investigations remain ongoing.
It is of a concern to the police department, and we have been discussing with our senior command on how we can strategize to address those issues of missing persons. I know that we have put a lot of efforts in locating them, and we have been making progress. And I want to assure the families of those missing persons that we are doing all that is possible to ensure that we bring closure to them.
In a most recent case, Bree Arthurs went missing, but we haven't heard any recent updates. Have you guys stopped searching?
Once a missing person report is made, the police department continue to follow our leads, so it remains an open case.
For now, as police work behind the scenes, the community is left with an unsettling question. Why are so many young men disappearing, and why does it keep happening? Flames did more than light the sky today. They sent a clear message. Police destroyed millions of dollars worth of illegal drugs seized during 2 of the largest drug busts Belize has seen in years. After receiving approval from the courts, officers moved quickly this morning to burn the narcotics. Cocaine seized in Corozal and cannabis taken off the streets in the Belize district, together valued at an estimated $13 million, were reduced to ashes. Zenaida Lanza was there as history quite literally went up in smoke and has the details.
This morning, the police department destroyed more than 2,000 pounds of narcotics from two of the biggest drug seizure operations this year. Together, they had a street value of over $13 million. According to Police Commissioner Dr. Richard Rosado, the destruction followed full court authorization.
Pursuant to Regulation 27.1 of the Misuse of Drug Act, regulation application was made to the magistrate for the issuance of an order for the disposal of the cocaine that was seized in Newland, Corozal, and the cannabis that was seized in Lord's Bank. The magistrate, having been satisfied that the said substance, controlled substance, can be destroyed without any prejudice to any pending criminal proceedings, duly granted the order.
So can you talk to us about the quantity of what we're disposing today?
It's over the cocaine that was seized in Corozal, I believe it's 1,215.6 pounds. The cannabis seized in Lord's Bank, I believe it is 1,176.5 pounds, with a total street value of 13 million.
The first set to hit the fire was more than 1,200 pounds of cocaine seized in a joint operation involving police, customs, Coast Guard, and Mexican air officials. Security forces intercepted a drug plane in Newland, Corozal after tracking it from Costa Rica and arresting 2 Mexican nationals on landing.
It does show that the personnel, the police officers, are highly motivated. It also highlights that Belize is not a transit route for drug trafficking, because we have the partnership, we have the intelligence, and we have the capability to intercept and track drug traffickers. So it does serve as a motivation for our personnel, and I want to thank the security forces and all our police officers who are involved in the both seizures.
A few weeks earlier, police in Lords Bank Village raided an apartment and found over 1,100 pounds of high-grade cannabis, along with a 9mm pistol and ammunition, valued at an estimated $1.6 million. Those drugs were also brought in for destruction today. Assistant Commissioner Gualberto Garcia explained the level of coordination needed to safely transport both loads.
The 2 loads were secured in 2 different locations. So we had to ensure that we provide adequate security for those loads to reach where we are. It took a considerable number of police officers to be here. We have a strong perimeter around us currently with security, so it's not very easy for anybody to get close to us. So that is one of the main objectives that we have, is the security and safety of not only our officers, but persons who are here, ensuring that the process goes smoothly.
While drug destructions happen annually, today's stood out as one of the largest ever. As for concerns about possible retaliation following the loss of such a large quantity of drugs, police say investigations remain ongoing.
Drug destruction is something that we do almost every year, because as you might know, we have seizures every year all over the country, and many formations have a certain amount of drugs that they have, and due to the space in their exhibit rooms, then they always apply it to the commissioner for destruction of certain amounts of drugs. So we always have these kinds of operations, just that this is one of the bigger ones that we have.
While the burning removes millions of dollars worth of drugs from circulation, the focus now shifts back to the courts and the hunt for suspects. In the plane bust, the pilots were arrested and charged, but in the Lords Bank case, police have yet to detain a person of interest. Reporting for News 5, I am Zenaida Lanza.
Investigators have found more suspected aviation fuel near the site of that high-profile drug plane landing in northern Belize, adding a new twist to the case. Back on April 10th, a joint operation intercepted a Cessna aircraft in the Newland area of Corozal, seizing more than 1,200 pounds of cocaine and detaining several foreign nationals. Officers also recovered 9 canisters of aviation fuel in an SUV near the coast, believed to have been meant for the plane. Police are now checking whether the newly discovered fuel is linked to that same operation. While no Belizeans have been charged, investigators say the case is still active, with intelligence work and surveillance ongoing.
There is no way at this point to make a conclusive determination as to that. However, we are reviewing this discovery and its nexus to the April 10th incident as Commissioner Rosada was stated on the date of the press briefing, that it is an ongoing investigation and it consists of intelligence gathering as well as surveillance. No Belizean has been charged. However, as Commissioner Rosado indicated on that occasion, it's an ongoing investigation. I must state that the interaction with the Belizean was well documented, so we know exactly who they are, and we are continuing with the investigation.
Are you guys under the assumption that it was the same 9 that were found on the coastline, or a different set of fuel?
As I said, we would not be able to conclusively say that or make any guess in relation to it, but they were found in the general area, so they are being reviewed as being related in terms of establishing a nexus between the two, if any.
Police are hoping to make additional arrests in relation to the Newland area narco plane interception soon. 2 separate domestic violence cases involving police officers are putting the department under the spotlight tonight, and the top cop is responding. One case exploded into public view after a disturbing video went viral online. The other is playing out in court, with an officer already formally charged with assault. Together, the allegations have reignited tough questions about how the police force handles abuse within its own ranks. Tonight, the Commissioner of Police is weighing in on what action is being taken and whether the department is holding its officers to the same standards it enforces on the public.
The Belize Police Department is once again under public scrutiny after 2 of its own became the focus of domestic violence allegations. In the case of Constable Philip Garbut, charges were dropped, sparking public outrage after a video of the incident circulated widely on social media. In a separate case, GI3 officer Mercedes Chiak was arrested and charged with assaulting his wife and is now facing both court proceedings and internal disciplinary action.
The Belize Police Department take any allegations of domestic violence against our officers with the utmost seriousness, because we have recognized that when individuals in position of trust are allegations of this sort are made against them, it not only harms the victim, but it also erodes the trust, the community trust on the police department. Hence the reason we have always taken decisive action, both criminally and internally, against those individuals.
Beyond those specific cases, questions are also being raised about what the department is doing to get ahead of the problem. Opposition Senator Sheena Pitts recently called for regular psychological assessments for officers, given the pressures of policing. But the commissioner says support systems are already in place.
I'm happy to say that the government of Belize have instituted what we refer to as the Lotus Center. We also have a counselor who provide the necessary support to our police officers when signs of issues of these that would arise. So we are providing the necessary support. So there's nothing new that the opposition is offering. I would want to challenge them to provide us with some tangible, concrete solution, and we will embrace it.
So is it only when something arises that they do go to a counselor?
We have a system in place, our early warning system in place, and whenever that is, certain things are discovered, they are placed either through the Lotus Center or through a counselor.
Another challenge in domestic violence cases is when victims withdraw their statements, often leaving prosecutors with little to work with. We asked the commissioner whether Belize could move toward limiting that option.
In terms of adults, without a complainant, it's challenging because we need a complainant. But in some cases, what we have done, we have recorded statement in the presence of a GAP, so that it will be admissible in court. So we do have an avenue on how to address that. In terms of minors, there's a protocol in place along with the human development and the magistracy.
Police hope to reinstate charges against Philip Garbut, while Mercedes Chiak has been interdicted and now faces internal discipline as his case heads to court. But for many members of the public, the real issue isn't the process, it's how slowly the department moves when its own officers are accused. Reporting for News 5, I am Zenaida Lanza.
Still ahead, BEL takes severance fight to the High Court. But first, here's tonight's weather forecast from the National Met Service.
connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Tourism in the Caribbean is evolving, and the way we grow it matters more than ever.
The Sustainable Tourism Conference 2026 is the Caribbean's premier space for forward-thinking tourism leaders. The conference will be held in San Pedro and Burgess Key from the 27th to the 30th of April, and the conference is hosted by the Belize Tourism Board and the Caribbean Tourism Organization.
If you are part of the tourism industry, whether in hospitality, a tour operator, or managing a destination, this is for you.
This year's theme, Tourism in Full Color, explores how we grow tourism sustainably and inclusively across the blue, green, orange, and purple economies.
You'll gain practical experience, connect with regional and international leaders, and you will drive the future of tourism in Belize and the wider Caribbean.
And getting involved is simple. Registration is quick and easy with multiple payment options to suit your needs.
So, if you've been thinking about attending,
now is the time.
Join us.
See you in Belize at STC 2026.
Hello, I am Roy Reyes, owner of Fina Purified Water Corozal Tong. I am the proud owner of 3 jack trucks. These trucks are very reliable, spacious, fuel efficient, and I would advise any business owner, try Jack. You'll be very satisfied with their performance.
Taking shape every day. It all starts with Game Changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game Changers are bringing this to life. Game Changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the Game Changers.
Every idea starts with a curious mind. You're the girls who will build the future.
And that's what Girls in Tech is all about, helping you learn, discover, and see what is possible.
Each of you, if you want, you can be the innovators of the future.
The long-term objectives is to amplify their minds and the opportunities.
From retired workers still fighting for severance benefits to commuters and motorists feeling the strain of higher bus fares and fuel prices, the pressure on everyday Belizeans continues to build. Now, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize is calling on workers and the wider public to turn out in large numbers for its annual Labor Day March. NTUCB President Ella Wade says this year's event will go beyond celebration, serving as a unified show of strength and a platform to highlight the growing challenges facing the country's workforce. She explains.
whenever we have a Labor Day march, the first most important item is to celebrate the workers, celebrate workers' achievements, celebrate what the workers have contributed to this country from the past year to where we are currently. But this year, we do realize there's a lot of issues that we face as workers in this country. We have the severance campaign that we're doing right now. We have obviously the cost of living, which relates to the increase of in petroleum, gas, etc., which then transcends into putting in fuel into our vehicles, and also the cost in the bus, the increase in bus fare. They also transcends into the cost of groceries that we purchase. We have issues such as workers who have still not receiving that minimum wage of $5 per hour. We still have workers who are having issues with that. So it's an opportunity again for workers to congregate. It's a holiday, so there is no excuse saying we can't make it because we have work. There is no excuse. We ask them to join us in the march. But going into the rally, we usually at the rallies what we have is all the presidents from all the unions give a short speech. And of course, each union have their own issues that they're facing, or they want to encourage members to ensure that they are keeping informed, because a lot of them are going through negotiations at the moment. So it's also an opportunity for the presidents to directly speak to their members and again to the citizens of this country. Because Labor Day is not limited to union members. We invite the public, but we invite workers.
The NTUCB is inviting food vendors who wish to operate at the rally to reach out and register with their office. The march starts at 8:30 a.m. on Friday and ends at the Birds Aisle for a unified rally. Belize Electricity Limited is moving to settle lingering questions over severance pay by asking the court for answers. BEL says it remains committed to fair and equal treatment for all employees with severance claims, especially considering a recent ruling from the Caribbean Court of Justice. To ensure that ruling is applied clearly and consistently, the company plans to take the matter to the High Court for guidance. BEL will present a sample of existing severance cases to help the court determine how the CCJ decision and local law should apply to the company's specific situation. BEL says the goal is transparency, legal certainty, and a clear framework for handling future claims. As the process moves forward, the company insists employee well-being remains a priority and says it will continue engaging openly with all stakeholders. In related developments, several former employees, members of the Belize Energy Workers for Justice, picketed the company's headquarters at midday, demanding severance pay. With violent crime dominating the headlines, the political pressure on the Briceño administration is intensifying. At a UDP press conference this week, opposition Senator Patrick Faber went on the offensive, pointing to recent killings, disappearances, and kidnappings as evidence that the government has lost control of public safety. Faber argued that incidents of this scale would have once triggered immediate national action. We put those concerns directly to the Commissioner of Police today and asked whether the force is losing ground in the fight against crime. Here's his response.
Each person or each organization are entitled to their comment. In fact, the opposition had 13 years. I would ask them to offer some tangible solution rather than criticize. But as a department, we are doing all that we can. We are using all legal measures, all legal tools. We are utilizing technology, we are utilizing community-led policing, intelligence-led policing in an effort to ensure that we continue to maintain crimes at a manageable level.
Police maintain they are doing all they can. Is it enough for the community? As Belize continues to struggle with gun violence, the decision to lift the ban on .223 rifles is stirring fresh debate. And not everyone is convinced it's a good idea. When the Firearms and Ammunition Control Board ended its moratorium on the high-powered rifles, concerns quickly followed about what that could mean for public safety. Officials say the move makes sense, especially for cattle farmers who rely on firearms to protect livestock from predators. Critics, however, warn that easing restrictions sends the wrong message at a dangerous time. Now, gun retailer and outspoken advocate Abner Murillo is stepping into the discussion, pushing back against the criticism. He argues the fears are overblown, pointing out that .223 rifles have not been linked to criminal activity in Belize. Murillo also questions why the moratorium was imposed in the first place and says it never should have been. He shared his perspective with us today.
For the .223 caliber, you have many uses, including farm use, recreational use. Many people use it to protect their farms against coyotes or, certain animals. You have recreational shooting. You have hunting. They're excellent for hunting smaller game meat or medium-sized game meat. And if you once again look at the facts, it has never been a matter of public security, because there hasn't been anything to warrant any concerns of public security. There hasn't been shootings with licensed .223s. I believe there's 1 or 2 incidents of brandishing since those firearms were introduced to the public here in Belize. So I think that the board made a decision based on facts once again, and based on actual knowledge, and not just personal opinion. So we definitely support the removal of a moratorium that wasn't necessary in the first place, and there wasn't anything in the first place to warrant such a moratorium. There is nothing there to say, okay, well, this is a matter of public security, and let's put a moratorium on it.
After the moratorium was introduced in February 2024, there was supposed to execute an audit and review. That audit has still not been completed. Coming up, Belcan Bridge progress moves forward, but not without consequences.
Your security, our top priority. We guard your world with strength and integrity. From home, cars and rentals, business too. We make protection simply easy for you. BB Insurance, trusted and true. Clear policies assured. Fast claims too. No appointment needed. Just swing by. Locations countrywide where peace resides.
BB Insurance, your security, our priority.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know, the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You to charge your phone right now? No. Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the Jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower beliefs.
Progress is rolling in for the long-awaited Belcan Bridge replacement. But for some commuters and small business owners, it's coming with tough decisions. As the government clears the way for a temporary bridge to keep traffic moving during construction, taxi operators and roadside vendors along the Philip Gosen Highway and Central American Boulevard are being asked to pack up and move. While officials say the relocation is necessary to ease congestion, not everyone is convinced the transition will be smooth. Some operators worry that the move could hit their livelihoods hard. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
The Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing is moving ahead with preparations for the Belcan Bridge replacement. Before construction begins, the ministry plans to put a temporary bridge to keep traffic flowing. To make that happen, officials have notified taxi operators, vehicle owners and others using the road reserve near the Belcan Bridge that they must clear the area. Chief Engineer Evandale Moody explained the decision to News 5.
We have signed a contract agreement with Cisco Construction Limited for the replacement of the Belcan Bridge. And so in respect to the replacement of the Belcan Bridge, we also have to construct a temporary bridge that will be utilized to alleviate the traffic congestion within the city. So that temporary bridge will be constructed behind Sayview Supermarket. There's an open lot behind Sayview on the Philip Gosen Highway. And so the new temporary crossing will span from the Philip Gosen Highway across the Hallover Creek to Evergreen Street beside BWS, whereby we will be utilizing BWS's property for the approach to the bridge.
With construction on a temporary bridge set to begin on May 4th, the ripple effects are already being felt along the Philip Gosen Highway and Central American Boulevard. From car dealers parked near Sayview Supermarket to roadside businesses by the Hope Center and taxi operators stationed near Comex, many are now asking how the upcoming works will affect their daily operations. According to Chief Engineer Evandale Moody, the contractors won't be wasting any time. Preparations for the permanent Belcan Bridge replacement will get underway at the same time.
And so in an effort to accommodate the contractor, we need to ensure that the site is cleared because we have to hand over the site cleared to the contractor. And so by doing that, we have to ensure that the taxis that park on the Philip Wilson Highway are removed because they're parked within the highway reserve, which is under the mandate of MIDH. We also have to ensure that the car dealers that are located on Central American Boulevard in front of Safeview Supermarket, that they are moved as well, because the contractor simultaneously is doing setting out works for the new Belcan Bridge.
At least 5 car dealers operate from the site, and several told us the relocation notice will hurt their businesses. Some say they have nowhere else to park their vehicles and fear losing customers. Others are taking a different view. Car dealer Nelson Zaiden, who has operated from the location since 2017, says he has no issue complying with the directive.
They gave us informally maybe 6 months notice or maybe longer. I received a phone call this week saying that we have 2 weeks to officially move. They're starting May 4th. And it's fine. I mean, there's no issues with that. Like what I said, we don't even belong there in a sense. City Council just gave us a break and told us it's fine. It's fine, we'll move on. Vehicles will still sell, you have to advertise electronically now, no? And try to bring that market flow there.
The businessman, who has operated outside Hope Center for more than 10 years, says he'll relocate and continue working. Tony's Barbecue will also be allowed to remain at their location in the area.
We are also aware that there is a barbecue stand near the overpass. I think it's called Tony's, I believe. Yes, he has been selling barbecue there, I think, for quite some while. However, because we have to ensure that we provide an adequate path for pedestrians that will be alighting from the new temporary bridge to utilize the overpass, we have to ensure that he has an overhang shed from the barbecue stand that needs to be removed because that is exactly blocking the footpath going up the stairs to the overpass.
Moody says it is unlikely that these business operations will be allowed to return to the area when construction is completed in 2028. As swing bridge works get underway, the ministry must also compensate 2 established small businesses expected to relocate.
Rising tensions over land in southern Belize drew top government officials to San Marcos village today as Maya residents and a private landowner face off over disputed territory. Villagers insist the land in question is communal and say a private landowner is overstepping those boundaries. With concerns mounting, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Dr. Luis Avané traveled to the Toledo district to hear directly from residents and push for calm. He was joined by Area Representative Oscar Requena and Minister of Home Affairs Oscar Mira as officials move quickly to defuse the situation and prevent it from escalating. Minister Zabanes spoke with us about the concerns raised and the government's next steps.
We had a very candid, very respectful discussion of the issues. We did both in-depth look at the situation on the ground in San Marcos, where the residents are claiming that a private landowner is impinging on areas that should be communal land or should be land that residents should have access to. And then we looked at the broader picture of the process ahead with the review panel and how we can move forward towards a resolution. So it was a robust discussion. People spoke passionately and openly about all these concerns. And in fact, later today, we're going to be meeting with the landowner and have a discussion as well, and to see where we can find areas of compromise and with the aim of diffusing the tensions and hopefully finding a permanent long-term solution. We're trying at least. We don't know yet how it will transpire, but we're giving it our best shot.
The Toledo Private and Lease Landowners Limited says the title holding family has done nothing to inflame tensions and is only restoring land that was already cleared. Belize is looking ahead to make sure village water systems can keep up with growing demand, and the planning is now done. The Belize Social Investment Fund has completed consultations for a new water demand study that zeroes in on how much water 21 communities use now and how much they'll need over the next 5 to 10 years. The purpose is to ensure clean, reliable water doesn't fall behind population growth. Working alongside the University of Belize and the Ministry of Rural Transformation, officials gathered the data needed to design water disinfection systems built not just for today, but for the future. Village water boards played a key role in shaping the plan, which will roll out in phases and is expected to be completed by mid-next year.
The result of the consultation was that the University of Belize was able to determine the current water usage or consumption in these 21 villages, and that allowed them to then apply some projections and determine, saying 5, 7, 10 years ahead, how much water would be used in these areas based on population growth as well as economic activity and climate change as well. And that informs the sizing of disinfection equipment to be installed in these communities under the project. Now, this is all important because it gives us some certainty in the investment being made on the ground, so we can be sure that the sizing of the equipment will be able to handle the capacity in these areas.
In short, it's planning now, so village taps keep flowing tomorrow. For families in rural Belize, reliable water can mean the difference between getting by and going without. Now, a new international investment is changing that. In October 2025, Belize secured approval for a $10 million climate adaptation project that will use solar energy and innovative water management to strengthen water security in some of the country's most vulnerable communities. Known as SEAM, the 5-year initiative is bringing forward-thinking solutions to Boom Creek, Dolores, Otosha, and Copper Bank, helping more than 1,800 residents gain improved access to water as climate pressures continue to grow.
SEAM. What is SEAM? It is a major milestone for Belize's climate resilience and rural development. It addresses the critical challenge, which is reliable access to safe water in the face of climate change. We are not just building water systems. We are combining solar technology, ecosystem restoration, inclusive governance, and sustainable livelihoods into one integrated solution. The project is funded, as already mentioned, by the Adaptation Fund with $5 million over 4 years. It is implemented by the Protected Areas Conservation Trust and executed by the Ministry of Rural Transformation.
Through this initiative, the communities of Dolores, Otosha, Boom Creek, and Copper Bank are moving closer to a future where water is uncertain. A future where systems are not fragile but resilient. Closer through infrastructure with the design and construction of solar power hybrid water systems, delivering on sustainable and reliable water supply to all beneficiaries of these 4 communities. Closer to restoration with targeted ecosystem rehabilitation efforts, including watershed restorations, reforestation, and agroforestry initiatives that will protect and sustain water resources and livelihoods, particularly for women and vulnerable groups.
It's the 3rd time the Adaptation Fund has backed Belize's national push to build climate resilience. Next, how a Dangrega classroom became a national standout.
future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Present an event you can't afford to miss.
It's the Belize Music World Festival, Saturday, April 25th, 2026.
At the spacious Marion Jones Stadium. This annual event is geared to give you the very best in music, food, and artistry.
The Belize Music World Festival.
Headlines with two of Reggae World's very best performers. The one and only Mr. Siggy himself.
Taurus Brown.
With the very first time in Belize, Reggae Prince of Reggae Royal Family,
Skip Marley.
I just wanna be close to you. With his band. And also featuring on this momentous event is Pen Cayetano with his band. And Jay Cass with his band. Yes, Belize, it's a full-on band show. Also backing up this show is DJ Jago, DJ Console, DJ Cad, DJ Smurf, and Clark, and Rasen Jaro. Firestarter Sound. It's all hosted by DJ Dollar. So mark the date and don't be late. April 25th. Gates open at 7 for showtime at 8 at the Marion Jones Stadium. Ticket prices on bleachers $41. General admission $61. VIP $151. For Ultra Boost $2,500. Also available cocktail tables for VIP area only. Sponsors are A Town Called Freedom, Mars Production, Monisco, Belcan, Travelers Liquor, BTB, Niche, Channel 5, Channel 7, Love FM, and Love TV, Trim Radio and TV, and Cellular World.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Start your week informed and inspired with a dynamic lineup of conversations that matter to you and your community. We'll be talking boosting immunity across the Americas with the Ministry of Health, why vaccinations remain essential, and what you need to know. Then we dive into innovation with exploring AI and the future of technology at the Belize Digital AI Summit and what it means for Belize's future. Plus, we hear from energy workers calling for fairness and reform, highlighting key concerns within the sector, and explore how IT Vet is expanding opportunities through skills training to empower the next generation. Don't miss it. Open your eyes. Monday at 6:30 a.m. Real conversations, real impact.
What does it mean to do more for your students? The Ministry of Education's More campaign has been asking schools that question since 2023, challenging them to go beyond the classrooms across 5 pillars: digital learning, health, inclusion, involvement, and creativity. Schools submit their efforts, earn points, and get recognized for going the extra mile. One school in Stan Creek District has answered that call louder than most. Epworth Methodist Primary School in Dangriga has topped the entire country in More campaign points. And tonight, we find out how.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
movement and purpose beyond the walls of the classroom at Epworth Methodist Primary School in Stan Creek District.
I'm your biggest fan.
Oh my goodness, what's your name?
Evan. Hi, Channel 5. My name is Evanay Lopez. I am 9 years old. I've been in Game Group since 2025. And I have learned a lot of songs and a lot of dances.
Each child here is building something, a skill, a voice, a sense of place. One young man lends us his voice as our guide. English is his second language, and he learns it right here at Epworth.
Good morning, my name is Christopher Merrill and I'm school ambassador.
Nice to meet you, I'm Sabrina.
Today, he has every intention of using it.
Zendaya, also a dancer.
Our first stop, the Game Club, where students are keeping their cultural heritage alive through arts, medicine, agriculture, and education.
I love being in this group because I love talking Garifuna, I love singing, and I love dancing, and I love the history of Garifuna ceremony.
From simple yarn to finished pieces, this crochet club is all about pride in the process.
I made this beautiful scarf. That is beautiful. Did that take you long to make? This took me 3 days and 1 hour. Oh my.
And then there's the braiding club, where hair education and grooming are very much a family affair. Parents aren't just dropping their children off here. They're pulling up a chair.
You can notice all of our hair are 4C here, and these are just beautiful styles that they're beginning and starting. And this is an improvement because by the time they're in their future, they already have talent and business that they can start.
Behind every club, every parent volunteer, every seedling in the garden is a principal who has been quietly building this vision for nearly a decade.
Why is it important that we do more? It takes more than just teachers and students and the principal to run a school. It takes a community. And we want to share with our stakeholders who had that faith in us that we are doing more to ensure that our children get quality and sound education here at Epworth Methodist School.
Our next stop was one Hexiver was particularly proud of, the chess club.
This club here helps you to think, because in this club, the game, you need to think. I love recycling club because it's like helping the world.
The recycling club at Epworth is also redefining what waste looks like. With Charles Diaz leading the way, students are turning discarded plastic water pouches into bags, carriers, and even a hammock.
And this would be the strength of plastic, right? Our world could definitely be a better place if we learn how to implement recycle stuff, or reuse things a lot. Of course, what you put inside depends on what you desire, fruits, vegetables. But this school also has the vegetables and the fruits on the ground, and so we're going to see that next.
What Epworth is doing doesn't just impress visitors. It's caught the attention of the Ministry of Education. Their More campaign recognizes schools that go beyond academic excellence. And Stan Creek's district's education manager, David Cano, says Epworth has gone further than most.
Epworth is one of the schools in this district that is leading the adoption of this More program. I believe they have more submissions than any other school in the district, and perhaps maybe leading the country as well in primary schools.
Epworth became the first school in Dangriga to receive a More banner, a recognition that comes with a visit from the minister himself. Last year, they topped the entire country with 285 points. For Cano, what's happening here is bigger than one school.
We want to create a citizen of Belize that is involved, that is knowledgeable, that is creative, can problem solve, and works well.
Saturn's rings are made of ice, rock, and gas.
Epworth Methodist Primary School isn't waiting for the world to invest in its children. The community already did. And in doing so, they've set a standard for every school in Belize to aspire to. From Stan Creek District, looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
If you would like your school to be a part of the MORE campaign, primary and secondary schools across Belize can make their submissions year-round at moecst.gov.bz/more. Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, News 5 Facebook poll shows overwhelming rejection of new bus fares. Robert Norales commented, "This increase will be hard on people that rely on the bus system." The bus owners came together and demanded an increase and got it. But who will feel this? We the people. But just like how a handful of them demanded and threatened to shut down the runs, we the people should come together and demand better bus services and on-time runs. We have the power, not them. Turning to Belcan Bridge progress forces roadside relocations. Lennox Hyde shared, "I don't have a problem with them working on the Belcan, but doing work on both Belcan and Swing Bridge at the same time is not a bright idea, especially with the high cost of gas. Come on, men, let's replace one bridge at a time." And finally, on police seek identity after another body is found near port. Therese Gillett shared, "What happened to Belize? This is really getting out of hand." Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.